everybody. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. I'm Andy,
I'm Matt.
and we're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So today is a very special show, as you can probably already tell. We are doing a special Christmas slash holiday slash comic special for you.
That's right.
But why are we doing that?
Well, so for this is our Wednesday video where we normally talk about books that are on FOC for the coming weekend. However, there are almost no books on FOC. I don't want to say no books because there's like a couple of
Yeah,
out books, I think. So you can still check infinityflux.net if you want to see what is out there. But
it's a
there's
handful.
it's like I could count them on two fingers, basically two hands.
On TV, that
Um,
would be two.
yeah, but there's no Marvel, no DC, no Image, no Dark Horse or anything like that. Um, and there won't be any of that stuff for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I
Yeah.
believe DC and some of that stuff comes back 2 weeks from now, and then Marvel and Dark Horse and stuff will be coming back 3 weeks from now. So we'll keep you updated the closer we get, but it'll be the first weekend of January at least before there are any new books to order. But just to let you know, books are still coming in. So there are books that are coming out this week, next week. We'll still be doing next week's show like normal, reviewing the books that are coming out next week, but it won't be on Monday since Monday's Christmas.
Yep. Yep.
So still come into the shop or still, check your mail or whatever because books are still coming out. We ordered those things like a month ago, but just as far as ordering new books, there's a bit of a 2 week pause or so. And this happens every year
Yeah.
because of Christmas, because of New Year's. There's always a bit of a break in ordering. So it will resume in a couple weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, we'll still be doing our videos covering the comics coming out because there's still a lot of good stuff coming out. But we wanted to take this time, and maybe you take this time, because all of us, if you're a comic collector, I'm sure you've gotten behind on some of your
Yes.
reading, or you've got some stuff that's been sitting over on the side, and you're like, I really want to get to that, but you keep getting the new stuff. Well, this is a great time these next few weeks if you can take a few moments out of your busy schedule to sit down and read some of that stuff that maybe you haven't got around to reading, and we want to talk about some really cool holiday related
Yeah.
books and comics that you should check out. I actually read a new one. This just came out, I believe, a week or two ago. This is fantastic. So, this is For Gathered on Christmas Eve. This is from Dark Horse. And check this out. So, this is really cool. You've got Eric Powell, you've got James Herron, you've got Becky Cloonan, and you've got Mike Mignola, and they are the writers, creators, artists in this book. But they are also featured characters in this book, which is hilarious because in this story, the four of them to get together on Christmas Eve. I believe it's Christmas Eve to
Mm.
tell ghost stories, kind of in the classic fashion. Ghost stories used to be pretty synonymous with Christmas, and so it's Eric Powell of like the Goon and all of that fame, bringing back that tradition. But all the writers in this are very much like Victorian era feeling, and they all somewhat hate each other, which is hilarious. So the kind of through story is done by Eric Powell in his style and everything, which is really fun. Like that was just as much fun as the short stories are in this, but each of them take turns telling a scary story, and it's either written or most of the cases drawn by those creators. So we do have the first story is by James Herron, and it's kind of this almost pseudo steampunk about this captain and his partner who are going to Mars in a kind of dirigible blimp type thing, but it's also possibly being haunted by some of the crew members.
Okay.
And there's plenty of space madness in here, which is great. Then we have a story from Becky Cloonan that's kind of a poem about a kelpie and its rider. So this kind of zombie swamp horse. It's a really cool.
Sold. You sold me at Zombie
It's
Swamp
like a
Horse.
kind of a romance as well. We had the Mike Mignola story, which is actually about the Jabberwocky from
Okay.
Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass, and but it feels very Hellboy adjacent with the art in that by Mike Mignola. And finally, we have a story by Eric Powell about an adventurer who feels almost like a Craven the Hunter, like a maybe a big game hunter or
Oh
something.
yeah.
But he's coming back to his kind of family estate where he meets up with one of his old friends. But for some reason, this guy can't go inside the house. Seems like he might have brought back a curse with him. that
Hate when that happens.
yeah, that ends very horribly for pretty much everyone involved. But also the story of the artists and writers that are telling the stories takes an unexpected turn that's full of surprises and one happy goose that you'll have to
A
find
nice
out.
Christmas
A
goose.
nice Christmas goose. You'll have to read to find out. But I wanted to spot like this. Highly recommended. It's not exactly Christmas either. I mean, you can read it anytime, but really perfect for the holiday season. And like a lot of this stuff, it is available on our website on infinityflux.net right now, where you can order yourself a copy. I can't guarantee it'll be in by Christmas, but it'll probably still be cold by the time
Oh,
you
for
read
sure,
it.
yeah.
So
It'll still be in the Christmas season because that
exactly.
lasts through like into January,
Yeah,
right?
and I can see myself reading this just every year. It
Yeah.
is a lot of fun. So that is for Gathered on Christmas Eve. Now you brought some pretty fun stuff
Yeah,
for
now
the
this
show.
isn't new, but you mentioned reading every year, right? And I
Yeah,
love reading Christmas themed comic books around Christmas time. So I've got something here that I brought. It's like show and tell, right? Like, oh, I brought in this thing. So I brought in this Ziploc bag full of comics. I keep this in my Christmas.
because they stink too
That's
bad, or
right.
what
Well,
is it?
so I keep these in the box that I keep my Christmas tree ornaments so that when I put up my tree, I open the box to get the ornaments, and this stack of books is sitting right here. And I just keep it in an extra
That's a
Ziploc
true
bag.
comic fan. No matter what box you open, there's probably
There's
good
comics
comics
in,
in
yeah.
it.
So yeah, I'm gonna open this up, and I'm showing you the back first because it's just random stuff in here. The a couple in the last year or two, DC's Grifter got run over by a
Uh
reindeer.
huh.
That came out last year. Just a bunch of little short stories, Christmas themed. The one the year before that was "Tis the Season to Be Freezing."
Yep.
So this is always fun to read. And then this year's was "Twas the Night Before Christmas." Is
Yep.
that right? But my favorite ones are my original Marvel Holiday Special. This one is from 1992, I think, or either 91 or 92. And then I've got the 1993 one as well. And I love to break these out every year, not only because, awesome 90s books, but it makes me, it takes me back to when I was a kid in the
Yeah.
90s. Because I read these books every year when I was a kid in the 90s. And there's like so many, like there's a Punisher story,
Yeah.
there's a Ghost Rider story, but it's Christmas. And we were talking before about a lot of the newer ones now. Like I feel like the stories are manufactured for Christmas.
Yeah.
They're a little bit funnier, a
Yeah.
little bit sillier, but these ones were just like regular stories, but they just happen to take place during Christmas. Santa Claus may have popped up in a couple of them, but these just felt more natural, I
Uh-huh.
guess. But just still so much fun. And even like when I was a kid, I would just keep multiple comics in one bag.
Yeah.
So but I don't know. Like, I would love to know if you guys still have stuff like this, but I just love to get these out every single year and read them every single year and just revisit my childhood because it's awesome.
Yeah, especially that first this one right here.
Yeah.
I had this one growing up, and I remember it was so weird because I think the Spider-Man story in it is kind of depressing too.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those moody Christmas stories. The Punisher one's like that, but then there's, a completely different kind of uh there's some that lean more towards the fun side of it. Plus this wraparound
Oh
cover
yeah,
by
there's
Art
the back
Adams
of it. Yeah, so
where they're all chasing
you get the
him.
whole like I mean that's so
Oh
cool.
yeah, there's your Punisher
Yeah.
story.
And what's cool in this one, I love the X-Men story in this one
Yep.
because it's this is the story that tells us that Santa Claus is the most powerful mutant in the
Yes.
entire Marvel universe. And the story, when this one ends, it butts right up to one of the Chris Claremont like X-Men, Uncanny X-Men like 95 or 97 or
Mhm.
something. Because at the end of this, they're all at Rockefeller Center. And at the beginning of whatever issue it was from the 70s, that's the opening page. So
Yeah.
it butts right up to that. It's really well done. Yeah, just there's a Fantastic Four story. There's also like pinups like that in it. Like I love these old ones. There's a Captain America
Yeah.
story
Uh,
from Ron Lim,
yeah.
which is
I think it's
great.
Captain America and Aunt May.
Yeah.
There's Ghost
And then a
Rider.
Ghost Rider story. That's not a Christmas story. That's just Ghost Rider in the wintertime, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, just so much fun. I love these books. I love the new ones, but these ones have a special place in my heart because I was a kid when these came out.
Yeah, that's definitely an awesome idea to get some because a lot of the companies, especially if you look back, they did Christmas books and holiday books like every
Oh yeah,
year for a long time,
yeah,
and they still do. So it's a fun idea to kind of gather them up in one place and have them and read them every year. If you're a big comics fan and like to mix your holidays with your
oh for
comics.
sure.
Next up, I do want to talk about this other book we do also have available here that you have as well, and it is
Yes.
fantastic.
Oh
And
my
this is
gosh.
Klaus by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. So you may be familiar with Dan Mora's art currently on Batman Superman World's Finest,
Or Shazam.
Shazam,
Yeah. Or every DC variant cover
every
out
variant
there.
cover that's really cool. I think this week was a Nightwing
Yep.
cover. But this, check this out. This silver pages and everything. So, and Grant Morrison, who is a one of the architects, I feel like, of modern uh, superhero comics
Yeah.
with things like Final Crisis, Batman and Robin, so many fantastic stories. And this is no exception because this is I like you can tell a story about Santa, but Grant Morrison did it in the style of a superhero book. Now, Santa Claus is not flying around with a cape
Right.
and fighting giant robots yet, but it's taking that idea of let's do the idea of an origin story, but for Santa. And I'm going to show you some of the art in here. It is
Yeah. Oh
beautiful.
my
This
gosh.
Dan Mora art. So you get these beautiful spreads of like the city and everything. Uh, you've just got uh like some of the origin stuff of like why does he start delivering toys, what is, he gets an arch enemy in
Yeah.
this. So this is a fantastic book that really it creates this kind of new version of Santa in Klaus where he has a pet wolf that's really cool. It mixes science fiction with like epic
It
fantasy.
gave me like vibes of a little bit of like Robin Hood a little bit because
Yeah,
he's helping the oppressed by like giving kids toys and stuff, and he's sneaking and he's jumping over castle walls and
yeah.
ducking guards, giving out presents, and then jumping back over the castle walls and that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and it gets even crazier as we get just colorful weird ships and everything, just fleshing out the kind of the mythos of this version of Santa Claus. And I highly recommend picking this up. It's 59.99, but well worth it. This
Well worth
is
it.
a couple of volumes. There was he did like two big ones, and then there was like a special that's almost like an advent calendar
Hmm.
where every day is like a different little story. It's really really good, so I highly recommend picking this up. I believe we have some available on our website infinityflux.net if you want another. And this is another one, read any time of the year.
For sure.
It'll probably take you quite a while to read it,
Yeah.
but it is fantastic. It's where I got introduced to Dan Mora's art.
Same.
So when he went on to work at DC and everything, I just completely followed him there from all of that. So yeah, check out Klaus. And this is the what edition is this called? This is just like an ultimate
Well,
edition
it's like
or
just a complete collection. I feel
yeah.
like because what I love about this book is I own several collections of Klaus digitally,
Yeah.
but there's so many different like just individual stories that it was hard to keep track
There were
of. And
some one
this
shots
is
and
yeah,
everything.
one shots and stuff, and this is everything
Yeah.
all in this one book, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
The book physically it looks great, the art is great, the story is great, everything about that book is
Yeah,
wonderful.
this is a premium format. Plus, I think this edition has a bunch of um backup matter of like the you get some black and white sketch pages and all of that. So highly recommend
Mhm.
Klaus if you've never read it, or if you like Matt only have maybe some of it.
Yeah,
This is all of it
yeah,
in one. So check this one out. It is amazing.
yeah. Well, so I've got another one. It's not new this year. I actually picked this one up last year. I haven't read it yet, but I'm definitely going to read it this year to finally get caught up. I don't know anything about it because I haven't read it, but this is Santa versus Zombies. I don't even know who the publisher is. Outland Entertainment, I guess. I don't know. Like Koji Sakai is the writer. Like I should have looked. I just I know zero about this book, but I had to get it when it came out last year because I love when Christmas mixes with horror. Like a few weeks ago, we talked about the Creep Show holiday special.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The one where Francavilla does the variant covers
Oh, it's
for?
the R.L. Stein one.
Yeah,
Stuff of
Seven
Nightmares.
Nightmares. Yeah,
Yep.
there was a holiday special. I want to say a week or two ago. I
Hmm.
didn't read that one yet, but there's something about how Christmas mixes so well with horror. You just read The Deviants
Uh-huh.
this
Yep.
week, and yeah, there it is right
Yeah.
there.
The
And
Deviant.
that's like not necessarily horror, I guess, but like thriller mixed with
Yeah.
Christmas. There's something about joyful Christmas, Santa Claus stuff mixed with horror. And when I saw last year that there was a book where Santa Claus maybe fight zombies. I mean, he looks like he's about to go to town. I mean, that's Rick Grimes right there. He's about to decapitate some zombies. But yeah, I had to read it, but I never got around to it last year. So this year for sure.
You
Uh,
kind of put it down as one of your new things to read over maybe when, we don't have as much new stuff to talk about
right.
for ordering. You can fill in the space with some of this.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, well, I can't show that, but yeah, very very cool. So I can't wait to jump into that one.
Also, I feel like this is one
Oh
that
yeah,
was really big when it came out. I don't hear as many people talk about it as much, but this is where I really first remember seeing Libra Mayhem's
yep.
art. So this is Batman Noel, and this is written and illustrated by Libra Mayho, who I mean, forever was doing Detective Comics
Hmm.
variants. Just a fantastic artist. Definitely has his unique style, even his unique take on Batman, which this kind of introduced. I even think one of the Arkham games, this suit that he has in this is one of the
Oh
costumes.
yeah,
It's
I
the
think
Batman
so.
Noel
Yeah.
suit. So, what is Batman Noel? This is a standalone graphic novel that kind of puts Batman in the Christmas Carol role of Scrooge, which is funny.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I read this last year just for the first time. I'm ashamed to say, but I was halfway through the book before I realized, oh shoot, this is Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
didn't even
it's
realize
kind of
that.
I don't want to say it's subtle, but it's like it's not necessarily a one for one retelling,
Sure,
but
yeah,
it's more
definitely.
about Batman instead of like Scrooge, who's kind of a miser and all this. This is more about Batman getting increasingly darker and more violent,
Hmm.
and instead of getting visited by ghosts, he gets visited by other characters. So in this, we have Batman uh, teams up, but it's kind of his way of meeting these ghosts.
Yeah,
One of them, the ghost of Christmas past, is Catwoman. The ghost of Christmas present is Superman, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come is Joker. And all of these are kind of there to teach him to be a better version of
right.
himself, be a better version of Batman. But the art is fantastic. Like if you see this is what the interior looks like on it, and it is insane. But like you said, yeah, you're not just smacked over the head right at the beginning with, oh, this is a Christmas
Yeah.
Carol. This definitely has its own tone and feel to it that you could get through and not even realize what it is. Yeah, you see on the back, you've got Catwoman, Superman, and a tombstone with Joker's head on it. It features, I believe, Robin kind of plays the part of Jacob Marley
Yeah.
that kind of starts this whole thing. A lot of fun cameos, but yeah, if you've never checked this out, it's from 2011 by Libra Mayho. Definitely check this out. Another good one, just any time of year, but especially this time of year for the holidays. And I think lastly, I just want to mention this is more Halloween, but if you're looking for another great one to read, check out Batman the Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. It's a long Halloween, but it's about the killer that what he's called the
The
holiday is it
holiday killer,
holiday
isn't it?
killer.
Yeah.
And there is an issue in here, the Christmas issue featuring Joker is fantastic because it is kind of a riff off of the Grinch,
Right.
the way Tim Sale draws him, where he's all like hunched over and creeping around Christmas trees and all of that. Just another fun one to read any time of year because it's probably whatever time you read it, it's close to a holiday mentioned in here.
Yeah.
But especially this Christmas issue in this is so good and so much fun.
You could read that multiple times in a year. There's 12
Yeah,
issues. One issue is every month or every is it every month, right?
it's pretty close to every
Yeah, they
month.
cover all. There's Valentine's Day in there, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, you could read it all year long. And yeah, the Christmas part is really good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Batman stories, just so well done. It's a nice sequel to Year One, even though it
Yeah.
wasn't specifically made to be that, but it fits right with
Tonally,
yeah,
it really
yeah,
works
because
for
it's like
him.
his second year of Batman, I think
Mhm.
here, and it's just that's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a ton of stuff to go out there and do while we're not ordering comics, but we will be talking about new comics coming in. Go out to your local comic book store, ask them, hey, do you have any holiday themed comics?
Yeah.
Most stores will direct you right to a box for it, or they'll pull out some individual issues. Maybe you can go to your store and find. Usually, those Marvel holiday specials are like either in dollar boxes or $3. They're not
Yeah.
very
Right.
expensive, but definitely worth the read. Really, really fun. So we will be having a show coming up. We are going to be doing. It's kind of an annual thing now. We do. Jason and I had done it for a few years, but now we're going to be doing it. A end of the year wrap up where we're going to be talking about what is our favorite series of the year, what are we most looking forward to coming up in the new year, and just getting you really excited about the next year for comics while reflecting on how good of a year we just had in comics.
Hmm.
And we had a great year, some great events. I think a lot of surprises
Yep.
of how much we enjoyed different things. So a bunch of fun stuff coming up. We've got some announcements about maybe some future videos we're going to be doing. So stay tuned for that. And we'll be posting about when that we're going to be putting up that video. It will probably be a little bit after Christmas. We're
Right.
not going to be doing a video coming up on Friday
That's right.
because there's not, you know, if we
Yeah.
couldn't
There's
fill a
nothing.
short show with
Right.
enough comics, we definitely couldn't fill a long show. And we're getting right there. Everybody's going to be busy for the holidays, so stay tuned. Keep your eyes and ears open, or your ears,
Our
your
ears.
ears open for a bunch of good stuff coming up on our channel. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Remember to head over to infinityflix.net. I'll just remind you real quick to head over there and you can still pre-order comics. There's still tons of stuff on there to order and pre-order coming up. Everything that you do pre-order, you get 10% off of. Just get familiar with the website. You know,
Yeah.
browse around. Maybe if there's not anything right away to order, you can find some new cool stuff that tickles your fancy and you
Yeah.
want to try out. It's all there at infinityflux.net.
And when you do find something to order, you can use code I love Flux to get 10% off. If you pre-order stuff, you also get 10% off of that order. So this code right here is only a one-time use code, but it doesn't expire.
Mhm.
So like I said, whenever you do find something that you want to order, use this code. If it's a pre-order, you'll also get a 10% off as well. So you could get close to 20% off.
Yeah,
And that is a great way, some great savings for comic books
yeah,
or anything else on the website.
exactly. And get somebody a belated gift.
Yeah.
Why not? A lot of fun over there at infinityflux.net. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully everyone out there is going to be having a wonderful, magical holiday Christmas season, and we will check you out on the other side
Yep.
coming up soon. So until then,
See ya.
bye.